Hello everyone. In this session, we'll look at creating reusable controls in SAP UI5, and more specifically, we'll be creating XML Composite Controls, and we'll also be creating a library that contains these composite controls. So there are many reusable patterns in SAP UI5, and the control is what we are going to create. The control can encapsulate both the rendering and the behavior, so which means it can contain both the UI and the functionality, so it can be encapsulated, both can be encapsulated. It provides a standardized control interface, and you've also seen fragments, views, and these reusable patterns you've already seen before. And the component, this one is a more sophisticated a reusable pattern, and this is almost like an independent application by itself. So we'll look at the component reusable pattern at a later stage, but today we'll look at the control reusable pattern. And what we'll also do is we'll look at creating a library, and we'll deploy the control to this library. So library, just like a collection of books, this is going to be a collection of controls. And like I said, the component, so we're going to look at it at a later stage. Now, to do this, we're going to take a simple example, and we are going to create what is called the XML Composite Control. Now, this is a really good feature if you want to use, or if you don't want to use any custom HTML elements and tags and so on. So if you're just going to be, if your control only needs SAP UI5 controls, then this is a really good option to use. So what we'll do is we'll take a very simple example, like a Fibonacci series. So the Fibonacci series, I'm sure you're already aware of. It takes the sum of the two preceding numbers. So it sums 1 and 1 and gives you the value 2. And then later on, it takes 1 and 2, sums it up, gives you 3, and so on. So in our XML composite control, so we're going to have a few properties. So we're going to have a title for this composite control itself, and we need two values. So we're going to take a value and the previous value. So we'll take 1 and 1, for example. And this control is also going to have an event called next. And anytime you call next, the output param is going to be value. And if the value and the previous value are 1 and 1, then this output param will be 2, and that will be also stored in a parameter called value. We'll also have a method called reset, which kind of resets the value and the previous value. So fairly simple composite control. So the steps is we create this control, and then we create a consuming application that consumes this control. Now, then later on, what we want to do is we want to take this control and add it to a library. And then we want to consume this control from within a library, just to make sure that we can also consume it from within a library in our consuming application. So that's what we want to do. Now the custom control itself, it is a JavaScript object, has a couple of special sections, the metadata and the renderer, and you also have methods that implement the functionality of the control. So the custom control, like I said, it has the metadata section, and this is where you define the properties and so on. The renderer is where you actually define the HTML structure. In our case, since we're going to use an XML composite control, we can kind of skip this renderer function, and there are some lifecycle methods for this control as well. Now the metadata, this defines the data structure of the control. So SAP UI5 automatically creates setter and getter methods for the properties that you add there. So if you have a property called title, then SAP UI5 will automatically create a set title and a get title method for you. Now in the properties, you need to give a name. So the name will be title. Type can be string. Default value is optional, so you can give any value. If you want to have a default value, you can give a default value. Then you can have aggregations, and you can also have events. In our case, we are going to have an event called next that exposes, that actually gives the next value in the Fibonacci series. The renderer, we're going to skip it in this control because we are going to use an XML composite control. But if you're using the regular control, then you would actually create the HTML structure here. There is a newer version of the renderer, and and that's a much faster version. So definitely use the version 2.0 of the renderer. Okay, so the key actors in the custom control. So you want to have a reusable control. In our case, it is going to be this XML Composite Control. So that's one of the key actor. And then we are going to have a consuming application. So this application is going to use this control. And we also have this concept of a library, which is like a collection of reusable controls. So once we create this reusable control, we kind of make sure that it is working in a consuming application, and then later on we throw this reusable control into this library, and then from the consuming application we reference this library and use that composite control. So steps involved. The first step is, like I said, we want to create this control, and then we want to consume the control within the consuming application. Make sure everything is working. And once everything is working, then we move the control to a library, and then we make sure everything is working. Part 3 is where we deploy it to the SAP Cloud Platform or the SAP Gateway. And I don't think I will be showing this, but once you have everything working, you can just deploy to the SAP Cloud Platform or the SAP Gateway. Again, quick reminder of what we are going to do. So we are going to create this Fibonacci series. So we're going to take this composite control has 3 properties: title, value, and previous value. It has an event which will give the next value, so 2 in this case. And it also has a method called reset, which can take A and B and reset these values. So let's get started. So I'm going to go to my SAP Web IDE. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the consuming application. So I'm going to create the consuming application. So let me create a project from template, and I'll take the SAP UI5 template. I'll say next, and I'll call this my controls, and I'll give a namespace of com.sap, say next, and I'll also change the view name to app, and I will finish this template. So I'm starting off with the consuming application. So we have not built the control yet. So I'll show you how we can consume the control first and then build the control itself. We're going to consume the control in 2 different ways. So first thing, I want to consume this control from within my view. So for that, what I want to do is I want to create a namespace for my control. Again, this control doesn't exist. We need to create the control, but I'm just showing how we can consuming it. So I'm going to create a namespace, and I'm going to say com.sap.mycontrols.controls. So this is how I can reference my control. And within my view, what I can do is I can say something like control and give a name for it. So I can do control, and this control is going to be called Fibonacci, and I'll give an ID, and I'll call this fib control by view. So this denotes that this was instantiated from the view. And if I told you this before, this one has a title property, a value, and a previous value property. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to provide the title value, and it's going to be Fibonacci series and instantiated by view. And it also has, I'm going to skip both the value and the previous value. So this is going to be the default values. So I'm not going to give any values for these value and the previous value. Now this has an event called next. So just like a button that has a press event, our control has a event called next. So I'm going to say next, and I'm going to call this on handle next. So this is going to be my next event handler, and I'm going to close this control. So this is how you would consume this control within your application. Now this control also has a method called reset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a button here, and then when the button is clicked, the button is going to call the reset method on this control. So what I can do is I can create a button here, and I can say text equals reset series, and the press is going to be on handle reset, and I will also give a class of SAPUI small margin bottom. Okay, so we have consumed this control in our application. Now, this is from within the view. We can also consume the same control from within our controller file also. So let me show you how we can do this from within the controller file. So here, again, we need to bring in this module. So I'm going to do SAP/m/my controls slash controls slash Fibonacci. And let me also get the message toast here. So SAP/m/message toast. And I will say Fibonacci. And then the message toast. Now here, what I want to do is I want to create this control. So what I'm going to do is this dot underscore my Fibonacci control. So this is how you would do it from within the controller. So we've already done it from within the view. So now we're doing it also within the controller. So we'll have the control twice in our application. So here I say new Fibonacci, and I can give a title because we know it has a title property. And I will call this Fibonacci series, and I will say that it is instantiated by controller, not by view. The view one we already saw. And here we'll give two previous values. We'll also give values for the previous value and the value itself. So I'll give a value of, let's say, 7, and then a value of 9. So instead of having 1 and 1, we start with 7 and 9. And then we have the next event. So we can also provide we can also handle this next event. So we'll provide a function here. So O event, and what we'll do is we'll do a message toast dot show, and then O event dot get parameter, and then let's see what parameter we are passing. So we're going to pass the parameter value. So we just say value. So this is, if you've used other SAP UI5 controls, this is pretty much how you would do that in other UI, with other UI5 controls also. So this dot, and what we also need to do is we need, now that we've instantiated, we need to display this in our UI. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'll create a placeholder for this. So I will create like a VBox, and I'll give it an ID of placeholder. And so here I can place my control in this placeholder. So what I'm going to do is this underscore by ID, and I called it placeholder. So this is the VBox that I'm referencing to, and add item, and then I want to add this item in this VBox. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is on my view, I have the next event. So I want to handle the next event from the view also. So on the controller, we've already handled the next event here, but I want to do the same thing with the view as the event also. So on handle next. So it's going to be the same, pretty much the same function that I have here. So I can simply copy and paste this here. So this is going to be the same thing. And then what I'm going to do is on reset. So I have a button called on reset. But what is the handler for that? So on handle reset. And here what I want to do is I just want to reset it to different values. So what I can do is this dot by ID and my fib control by view. So this control, so I get access to the control. This has a method called reset, and it takes two arguments. So this reset method takes two arguments, A and B. So let's provide these two arguments. So here I want to change it to, let's say, 5, 10. So these are the two values that I want to reset it to. And then my Fibonacci series that I created through the controller, I want to reset it to, let's say, 50 and 100. So this, I'm going to reset it to 50, 100. Okay, so I think we are all set in consuming the control. So I'll stop here for now. In the next session, I'll show you how to create the XML composite control itself. Thanks. Bye.